We have to be careful how we handle and deal with theology. We have to be careful with our theology, because of course, other people's theology is mythology. We have to take theology with a grain of salt. The reason is because theology is inherently misguided, as it is the realm of the intellect and the ego intellect. It is the intellect's feeble attempt at sorting out and categorizing and cataloging spiritual experience and principle. And the intellect, ego intellect, is simply the wrong lens, the wrong tool for the job. Spirit is experienced. It is experience. And your own direct personal experience in and with and by Spirit prevails over any documentation of another person's interpretation of another person's experience, translated 3-4 times, carried through multiple centuries before it reaches you. And also, we have to be careful about the falling into the rut, the wagon rut of the belief that, well, my theology is the correct one, and everyone else's is weird, wrong stuff. It is far more likely that they are all wrong than it is that they are all right. But what I can say is that as someone who is, let's say very, very stringently attached to their view regarding theology, they always think that their theology is the right one, and they just happen to have the right one, and they've ascribed to the right one. But then as their beliefs gradually evolve or shift, well, then that is the right one, and that's the true one. In other words, whatever I am subscribing to is the correct one. Even though it appears to that person to be the opposite, it is the correct one to which I am subscribing. But you have to be careful that it is, in fact, whatever you are subscribing to, you are projecting onto as being the infallible and only one. And meanwhile, as theology proclaims to be attempting to answer many, many questions, what it actually inadvertently ends up doing is generating questions, which lead to conflict, dissonance, discord, all of that. So take our theologies with a grain of salt, because for the most part, they are a translation of an interpretation of someone else's spiritual experience countless centuries ago. Your own direct personal experience in spirit is far, far more true and authentic and precious. So keep those priorities in mind.